In society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations, fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
This is season 4, episode 11. And welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome. I'm your host, California Cal, and this show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life. Because I truly believe and have discovered that the more access we have to different contexts and perspectives, the easier, smoother, cooler, and just flat out doper life is. You dig? And this is a show where, simply put, we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn Dude.
You dig? So welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome. And this is, again, a very special episode because why? Why? Well, let me answer that for you. Because we got the one, the only, the big boss himself, Mr. Yamamoto Boss, in the house once again for an amazing interview, some of the realest content that you will find on the entire fucking internet. And that's the point of the show, is to be able to showcase people who are up to things and are doing and creating a lot in life in a good way with the power of goodness, good intention, and really having good morals at the foundation of everything that's being created. That's really what this show exists and who it's here to platform, or who it's a platform for, and who it's here to help exhibit that. So in this family, we very, very specifically tuned it to speaking on behalf of family. And what does family mean? What does it mean to you? We dive into that. We dive into what it means to lead by example. Where are families lacking? What do we need more of? What's your take? I ask Yamamoto, what's your take on time spent versus money earned? How do you find the happy medium between that, right? Because like we've talked about before, it's like it's not about creating balance in life. It's about creating harmony in life. Because just seeking and creating balance on its own automatically creates unbalance. Because balancing is not easy, right? It takes a lot of work to balance something. So rather than having to find balance, work-life balance, nah. Let's create harmony between work and life. So Yamamoto breaks down how he does that and how he's able to put his attention into certain things when it's necessary, when it makes sense, when to turn certain modes on and off. And we really break into that. Or we really dive into that and break that down, I should say. We talk about a lot about emotional intelligence, how it relates to family, communication, people who are, doing fear-based versions of raising their families, creating space for kids to learn, and really diving deep into this. And it's truly, there's a lot of helpful things that will help us recontextualize how to approach family, how to relate to family, how to redefine family, and even how to just add more definition to what it means to create and have a family bond, a family structure, and to really be a man of creation and, simply put, to be a badass motherfucker who serves something good and creates dope shit. And that's the shit that I fuck with. And all the people you're going to hear on the show are people like that. And I promise you, this is one of those interviews. I'm telling you, Yamamoto's one of the coolest people you can meet. He's a powerful motherfucker. He makes people nervous. He shakes people up. He's just that guy because he stands for the truth. He stands for love. He stands for positivity. Stands for family. And stands for some gangster shit. in that context. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's get into this. The one, the only, Yamamoto Boss. Go check out his latest album, or I should say EP, Boss Level 1. Go check out all the newest songs, videos. I promise you'll like Chicken and Waffles. I promise you'll like the song Positive. Start there and work your way backwards. So, without further ado, the one, the only, Mr. Yamamoto Boss. Let's get into this interview. Much love. Enjoy.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? We've got, again, a real special interview here today. We got the one, the only, Mr. Yamamoto Boss in the house once again. What up, bro? Welcome back.
And thank you, man. Thank you for bringing me back.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, of course. For those of you who don't know, and I've been talking about it a lot, to go get your album, Boss Level 1 EP is out now. If you guys haven't, go slap that shit, like, immediately. Music video for Chicken and Waffles is out. That song, if you haven't heard it, is the only reason you're not a fan yet. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, like real shit. My kids sing it, everybody. It's like I hear my mom singing it. It's just everywhere. And it's like, and I was mentioning to you before too, it's like we need to start the Chicken and Waffles challenge where you pull up at a line of people on the sidewalk or whatever, you bump it and you see how crazy people get and film it and you tag Yamamoto.
Yeah, definitely, man.
But what we really wanted to get into today is family, because that's one thing that where we resonate super tough is about family, how we do it, how we conduct our family, what family means to us, and what it takes for us to have families the way that we do, and to, I don't know, it's like to just basically dissect this and give people a safe place to understand, heal, learn, grow, and even develop their own families on a deeper level, so we could all just live and be better fucking people, you know? So I guess firstly, like, let's just jump into it. Like, what comes to you when we say, what does family mean to you?
Right. Family is just as old as Adam and Eve and the first humans that were here. Family, it's, you know, in today's modern world, we should be at a higher standard. And the reason why I say this is because we have all the information, all the training, and all the classes and course that could essentially make a better society than what it is today. Because, so, you know, growing up without a family and especially a mother and father, which is very vital to a child being raised into today's world, can potentially go in any directions, you know. Essentially, I should be in jail right now. I should be a full-fledged criminal, if not already dead.
Just based off your upbringing?
Yeah, definitely based on my upbringing, the trauma of my father hitting my mom, and the trauma of watching my father and mother dissolve their marriage, the fact that I had to live with my father, and then he had a girlfriend who was abusing me and being removed from my father's presence permanently. And when I mean permanently, I'm like, you know, turning 39, and I haven't seen my father since, you know, I was like 5 years old. Yeah. So that's 34 years of not seeing this man. And then having to be with a single mother who doesn't know how to love, which took her a long time to learn how to love again, right? Mm-hmm. So, and to the point where she had to like give me up for adoption and letting my aunt and uncle be my parents. And then being raised around other people who struggle with their own trauma, and learning how to navigate in a new world and trying to raise a kid who's not their own in a new world where this kid doesn't know how to speak English, and having to deal with this kid who's going through trauma, which they don't understand and recognize because they're They lack the education, the training, the mentorship, the leadership in order to raise me correctly. So in the years that I've been separated from my biological parents and having gone through trauma and having to learn different families, their virtues, their values, their how they operate, I've come to a realization is in order to be a good family, good role model to your current family, because anybody can procreate, anybody can find a partner and procreate or marry, whatever you want to do. If you want to be a better parent, you have to go in a sense go into a training mode, right? You have to learn the mistakes of other people. Definitely, there's a lot of articles, videos of of what you could do better as a parent. Being raised by a Laotian family who've gone through the Vietnam War. A lot of people then, when you hear Vietnam, you only think the country of Vietnam, but that's not the truth. Other countries were involved, including Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, the surrounding countries around Vietnam. They were affected too, and a lot of the, I wouldn't say enemies. I wouldn't say Viet Cong. The Viet Congs were enemies. They were doing what was best for their country, and they wanted to get rid of colonizers that was trying to further colonize their country, and they didn't want that. So to them, the colonizers were the enemies. The colonizers looked at them being the enemies. So depending on whose side you're taking, that's the enemy, right? So essentially, my aunt and uncle were going through PTSD heavily, especially my uncle, because he used to be a captain, which is considered like a colonel status, in Army terminology, U.S. Army terminology. So he used to be a captain, a helicopter captain in the Laos Royal Air Force, and he witnessed his friends die. He was in a helicopter incident where his whole helicopter went down. His friends died, but he survived.
Damn.
So he had to live with that trauma for the rest of his life. He had to live through the trauma of the Laotian, the Vietnam War, right? And so now he lives in America and living with PTSD. He can't stop drinking alcohol. He's not willing to address his issues, in a healthy way. He takes out his anger on me because I'm an easy target. And the fact that, I'm living with him, he thought that I should feel obligated, to listen to him. And I became a punching bag when he got angry. Mm-hmm. Even though there's times I try to reason with him, saying, hey, I'm not the one, I'm not the perpetrator, I didn't do this on purpose. So I still got it regardless, until I got to a certain age where I could fight back. And that's when he stopped wanting to, hit me. Yeah. And there's times where it's like, dude, go ahead and hit me, but you're not going to like what's going to happen right afterwards. I'll let you hit me, but I'm going to dip out and you're never going to see me again. Yeah. Essentially, I kept that in the back of my mind for the longest time. My aunt, she understood why I never went back home. I'm as a man of my word, I had told him, the last time he hit me, I was like, this is going to be the last time you hit me. I hope you understand that. And then, even though I couldn't explain it to him in his language, but he understood my energy. Mm-hmm. He understood that I was serious about my words. When I said I was 16 years old, and it's like, this is it. You, by law, you can keep me here, but as soon as I turn 18, you'll never see me again. I kept that promise to him. Even though I could take back that promise and say, I forgive you, which I do. I forgive him for all the mistakes that he made, as the man that he was. At the end of the day, I kept my word, saying I'm going to leave and I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I forgive him. I even to the point where I forgive and forget. A lot of people can't do that. Oh, I'll never forget. You can forget. The reason why I forget is because you have to understand where each person comes from. It's case by case. I was believing that. In fact, that's the thing that Barack Obama said. You can't just look at everything as a blank slate, or as a whole slate. You have to look at everything case by case. Like my uncle, trauma. Mm-hmm. He lost his friends and family in the country of Laos. He had to leave his country. He was somebody in Laos and come to America to work at a furniture store for minimum wage until he couldn't work no more, and then gets laid off on the year of his retirement, so that way the company didn't have to pay him retirement.
Fuck.
That's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
So he's going through it, and I have to remember that as now I'm an adult, a very intelligible adult. And I can comprehend things now. I can work through things now. And the reason why I can do that is because I've trained myself to understand steps of execution, right? You have to, if you want to get to the execution phase, you have to backwards plan from there and figure out what the kinks in the middle of the plans that's going to hinder the execution, right? If we want to get to the goal, right? And here's the end, the final phase where we want to be at as a goal. Like if I want a touchdown, we have to. That's the goal, right? Let's say we want like 10 touchdowns, and in order to get to 10 touchdowns, we got to look at each touchdown individually, and then we backwards plan to get there. So we're starting at the 20-yard line. How do we get from the 20-yard line to the goal, right? How do we get there? And that's the same thing that how we look at people. If you've gone through trauma, right? You're going through trauma, and you want to be a better family man or a family woman, and there's something that's going to hinder that. You got to look at it. If I want to be a great family man, that's the goal, right? Backwards plan from there. So what's preventing you from being? Are you going to hit your child? Is hitting your child being part of being a great family man? No. If you do hit your child, what's causing you to hit your child? Your child, that's literally your clone. So you're essentially hitting yourself each time, you know? So how do I prevent that? So you have to revisit the cause. Well, my uncle hit me, so I'm going to hit my child. You know, that's very possible if you're trying to justify it like that. But you got to understand, first of all, my uncle hitting me he was wrong for doing that. You never want to hit a child, because child, you're always learning. They're learning to fuck up, to become greater. But if you're not giving them the space to learn, and you're doing it with threats and violence, they're just gonna grow up with being violent people, more threatening people, right? So I have to look at myself. All right, I'm gonna be a great father. How do I become a great father? So backwards plan, right? All right. Well, there was a point where I even told my wife, "Oh, if the kid fucks up, I'm gonna hit him." And then through the classes and training that I went through, that's wrong, you know. So I had to look back. You can't really hit your child, no matter how much you want to. You don't hit them. If kids are gonna be kids, they're gonna hit each other and push each other. But that's where you have to give them the space to grow. There's many times where kids were, hitting my son, and I want to smash on them, like, dude, but I'm like, I can't do that because they're children, and like, as one hit for me is like getting hit by a bulldozer, Yeah. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to trauma, give that kid trauma, and then he's gonna spread that trauma to other people. Yeah. So I had to always, have to walk my son through the reason why these kids are doing it, and I had to explain to him what they're doing is wrong. And while we don't condone it and we want retaliation, you can't always go through the retaliation phase. So, that requires learning and training as an individual, as the adult, right? So you have to look at, like, okay, well, my uncle hit me, so that justifies why I need to hit a kid. That's not true. So you have to fix all the traumas on the path to being a great father or a great mother. So you have any traumas, you have to identify those and start healing from that. And then if you want to be a great parent, a great family man, you got to also look at your skills. Like, are you a great leader? Because a family man, it's a leadership role. Like, as much as there's, we have alphas and betas and everybody has their roles. At the end of the day, the man came first. I know we're talking about equality here, and just the 2024 men and women equal. Not just I'm a depend on the but like unfortunately our avatars. If you were born a man, you are a man. And if you're a woman, you are a woman biologically. That's what you are, and you got to play that role. Yeah. I don't care how you feel, that's what you're gonna be. You can change your hair color. You can cut off your boobs. You cut off your digging balls. I don't care what you want to do, but you're still that biological. And if you want to become a family man, a real one that's going to change the dynamics of, you got to remember, man, without family, there's not going to be a next generation of people that's coming in. So if you're cutting off your balls and sewing up your vagina because you want to feel like a man, let you know right now, like that's not going to continue creating better humans. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need regular families like me and, Calvin here in order to create the next generation, stable generation, right? Yeah. The platonic family is what's going to continue building the next generation of our society. But, you're over here, cutting off your breasts and your penises and stuff like that. That's not healthy. So, and the reason why it's not healthy is because these people, one thing they refuse to acknowledge is their trauma. Something traumatized them to do what they're doing. Oh, I my whole life I grew up thinking I was a girl, blah, 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 right? I knew in my heart I was a girl. And same thing for a girl. I knew I was a boy. That's a lie. Like, everybody knows what they are. Yeah. You could look in the mirror. I never felt like that. I always knew I was a girl. I was feminine. You can be feminine, but you're not a girl, man. You have to go through the phase of a girl, periods. Mm-hmm. You have to be around girls your whole life to understand, like, what girls go through. Same thing for boys. Like, if you grew up around boys and you know what boys go through, and then you're telling me at age 18, 19, you want to cut off your dick, you want to be a girl? Yeah. You don't know what girls went through in their phase of being a girl. All this, you're just pretending you know what a girl goes through. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. Unless you've been trained by mainly women to be a girl. Okay, I understand, but you still don't know what their hormones went through to make them a girl. Mm-hmm. Same thing for a boy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it sounds like what you're describing is like the result of a weak family unit, and it's interesting too because I love how you broke all that down because we started this with like, all right, well, what does family mean to you? And what I hear within what you're describing is like, what family is an individual who's willing to own all the shit before and all the shit after and all the shit present responsibly and move forward and create healthy human beings to where we're not passing down our trauma to them. Exactly. It's like, clearly, obviously, families like you were blood related, we're this or that, whatever. But like, no, it's way deeper than that, And it's like, and I feel like there's levels to family too. It's like you've got your biological family, then you've got the people who you choose as your family, then you got the people who like kind of become a part of the family. And like, I think that shit is cool, man. And like, and just to put this out there too, it's like just man to man, I consider you family at this point. And reason being is because I see how you operate, I see where you come from, and I love that and I trust that. And on a deeper level is my son is like, he says, no, Yamamoto's good. He's a good guy. He's good people. He was calling your kids his cousins. And he's like, yo, my cousins, when are we going to see my cousins? I had so much fun playing with my cousins. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's like basically my son said, yo, we're family now. And I said, fuck, okay. Like, cause I fuck with who my kids fuck with, That's how it should be. Like, yeah, definitely. So like, especially if our kids see that in another family and another group of people, it's like, we all know everybody goes home and talks, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of it, it's like, just know that you got family with me and my people. Like, you're good here. You're good with us. If you need anything, we all got your back. Like, your wife, your kids, we got you. And like, I think that's one of the funnest versions and levels of family is to like, when you know who your blood family is, you know who your partner is, you know who your kids, your brother, your sister, whatever, all that stuff. And then that's gone through enough healing to where you can start consciously saying, oh, these people are good. These people are good. We want to ride with these people. We want to ride with these people, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I think it's cool that there's levels to it. But then also within these levels, it's like how you're saying, it's like, well, if me interacting with you, if I consider you family interacting with you, then I want our interactions to leave you better than before we started, you know, and vice versa. It's like, I get that from you too. It's like, whenever we have a conversation, I feel better after. I feel smarter. I feel more informed. I feel more open, more whatever, right? My direction's more clear. And we're able to like paint pictures of growth and love and like just some real ass shit where it's like, people are scared of this shit, dude. Like, people are scared of this. And I get why. It's because it's like, well, there's many angles to as to why, but like, one thing I think, just personally, I think is one of the most key factors to being a dope parent, to being a dope father or mother, is to still create and pursue your own dreams as an adult, as you're already past your prime or you're just entering, whatever. Like, you're not afraid to like pursue your dream again, like a new dream all over again. And I see you doing that with your music, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's with the shit. He doesn't fucking care. Like, he's just gonna do it. And to me, I'm like, that's good parenting, because whether you're doing wholesome things or not, it's like, I mean, which I assume you are, and I get from you, but like, you're leading by, a person who leads by example is a person who consciously leads by example through goodness and God and just goodness. That's the dopest motherfucker. Because it's like, we're showing our kids how to live their dreams. It's like, fuck, I went the last 15 years running my own business, living my own dream, doing all this, to have it all like fall apart, to say, okay, let's do it again. Even bigger, better. All right, in the midst of it, let's create the show. Let's create this podcast, whatever. It's like, let's just do all this shit. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I can guarantee there's like, I got a gang of people from high school who wrote me off as I failed.
Yeah.
Ha, I was waiting for it. That type of shit. And I'm like, go ahead, have your smiles, have your talks, have your laughs. I can just feel it. I don't even need to hear it. I could feel it. Then I got the people who share information with me. I'm like, don't even tell me. Like, I don't need to know. I don't care. It's like, I just got love for that person. I could say whatever, because I've seen every time for myself personally, when it's like, I'm grinding, and it doesn't look like I'm up to anything. I look like I'm in a lower position. All of a sudden, bam, the plan executes. They say, oh, can I get a position? Can I do this? You got any jobs? You got any work for me? I'm like, what happened to laughing at me over here,
Yeah.
And it's like, I recognize that with you, and I recognize that for myself and other men who I respect, is like, go ahead, laugh all you want. I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to create this, because my kids, when they see this, when they hear this, when they listen to this, where do you factor into this?
Yeah.
Nowhere. So it doesn't fucking matter. Like, what
definitely.
the fuck? Get the fuck out of here with that, So like, I love that you are chasing your dreams in the midst of having a family, having a wife, having like an established life to where you could just be quiet and hide away for the rest of your life, living fucking good, So like, what do you think about, what does it take for you to do that? And how did you get to that point? More importantly, how did you know that that's important for you to do and that you should really fucking do that?
Yeah. So, being an effective family requires, a certain principle. There has to have principles, right? Being raised as a gangster, as a Crip gangster, I learned that through the brotherhood, where people took care of each other. I have your back, you have my back, and that's where it stemmed from. Because my aunt and uncle never had my back. They supposedly like my family, but they were never there for like my orchestra rehearsals, recitals. They were never there for my basketball game. I remember only one game my uncle went to, and that was after that basketball game that he went to. I just didn't want to play basketball anymore. Like, I was actually quite unmotivated to play any sport because like no one was there willing, to be there. I mean, like, and you remember, I'm from a place of trauma. Like, I just know that people won't be there in my life. So what's the point of doing things at a certain point, right? Mm-hmm. And the people who were with me were the gangsters. It's like, yeah, sometimes we weren't up to any good. I'm just being out there, but we still had each other, through thick and thin, good or bad, And I took that with me. And as I know, I'm coming up to age, being 18, being in the Army, learning the values of, what it means to be a good soldier. I learned that a lot of people struggle with the code of having your back. I got your back no matter what. I'm not going to abandon you. We're a gang. You fuck up, I'm there with you. Yeah. We're going to fuck up together, Mm-hmm. So that's what a lot of people are missing, right? There are a lot of gangsters out there that has the same traumas, either being raised by a single mother or father or no parents, same thing like me. Mm-hmm. And then and they still need to address that in order to become a great father or a great parent, right? But the key element of having a good family is no matter what the situation, we got each other's back. Do not abandon me. So that's the thing with a lot of families. They if you want to be a really good family, implement that code into your family. I will never abandon you regardless of the situation. We can go broke. I'm still here. Your mom doesn't like me for whatever reason. She decides this day she gives up on me. Well, you know what? I'm not going to give up on her. I don't care. I'm not going to. It's too easy to give up. Mm-hmm. Like I use that same principle being a gang member in my family. Like we're gonna be together forever. We're not. I got your back, good or bad. I got your back, and that's where a lot of families they're lacking that code, where whatever the situation, I got you. Like I know a lot of white families. Oh, my son's on crack. Fuck him. Kick him out the house. Yeah. Turn 18. Kick him out the house. Kick her out the house. Oh, she's on OnlyFans. She's a prostitute. Kick her out the house. Oh, she had a kid when she's 16. Kick her out the house. It's so easy for these family members to give up on their own children. Like, how dare you? You brought them here. They didn't want to be here in the first place, and you owe them that obligation to be there for them for the rest of their life. And that's one thing that my father and mother didn't have, that code. Essentially, like me being here in the United States, that's the best thing they could have ever done for me. Even though I grew up in the streets, hard crimes, killing people, getting killed, police brutality, racism. Me being introduced as a Crip, or me being introduced to Crips and then being indoctrinated, in this gang, is what allowed me to be a very good family man. And believe it or not, a lot of gangsters, they're really good families.
I agree. Yeah.
A lot of great families in the world of gangsters, Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're GD, BD, Bloods, Pyru, Brim, your fucking Latin Kings. There's a lot of gang members have really strong family bonds because other gang members also hold them accountable. It's like, you better not fucking cheat on your girl, bro. I'm a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Or if they hear you cheating, like, hey man, you better fix that shit, Like, don't fucking embarrass us. Yeah. Yeah. There was times where I had some guys within the gang, like, I be telling them, it's like, hey man, you better go fix that shit. And that's through, brotherhood. Yeah. And there's times when I was younger, I was fucking up, I was dating a couple girls here and there, and then one of the dudes like, you better fucking either break it off or, because that's the homie's girl, man. You break her heart, they're gonna fuck you up. Yeah. And I took their, advice, broke it off. I didn't want to get to that point where the homies had to beat me up. Yeah. That's looking out for each other. And that's the thing, a lot of people in today's family, they don't have that brotherhood. They don't have somebody to hold another man accountable and say, hey, you're fucking up. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. There's, or a woman, right? That's why there's, like, how they say, like, you are who you hang out with sometimes. Yeah. But then they're not a gang. They're just people you hang out with. There's women that only hangs out with women that gossips. Mm-hmm. And they be sending each other, like, toxic shit to each other. Oh, your husband ain't shit. Fucking leave him. Yeah. Cheat on him, whatever. Oh, he ain't gonna find out. That what was that? That was like a TV show where it's like those housewives, whatever.
Oh yeah, Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, Desperate Housewives. Come on, man. They were just entertaining the fact you should be cheating on your husband.
Yeah, that show's wild.
Wow, right? That shouldn't even be a show. But then again, that's the reality. That's who you hang out with, right? But me being a gang, that's a whole different story. Being a gang is life or death, even in your own gang. A lot of people don't realize, like, if you fuck up in the gang, you can get and will get beat on by your own gang.
Yeah.
Like, just to teach you a lesson. Like, hey, you're being dumb right now, so we're gonna have to teach you a lesson. It's either from us or the other gang is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fix this now, type shit, you know. And I'm not gonna be the one side I never fucked up. I got my DP before, you know. So that's the thing with families today. They lack that giving up part. Like, I got your back no matter the situation. Like, my father, he gave up on my mom. My mom gave up on my father. That's how I was giving up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's a lot of families they're struggling with. You know. And even though you're a family, you married, got kids, you know, uncle, aunt, everybody knows. But it only takes one piece of paper to break that up.
Yeah.
And people talking about, you know, I'm there for you through sickness and death, right? You know, that promise you're supposedly supposed to give, right, through sickness and death. A lot of people don't know how to hold that. If you implement that, my wife said the same thing. She's like, if you cheat on me, don't think you getting out of this relationship easy. Yeah. She even tells me that, like, if you cheat on me, you're not getting a divorce. I'm not signing any paperwork, even though this is California where anybody can file divorce and you will get divorced, like, automatically.
Yeah.
But she said, like, still, I don't care about paperwork. You're not divorcing me. And to me, that's a commitment that I'll be looking for in a woman. Whether I do good or bad, she's there for me. Whether, you know, she do good or bad, I'm there for her. You know, we're not perfect. No one here is perfect. We are all sinners, right? We'll never live up to God's glory. That's why Jesus died for us. But that's another thing that what makes a great family. You have to have spiritual entity with you to guide you. You know, whether you believe in Jesus or not, or, you know, God, or you're a Muslim. And same thing in the Muslim family. They believe in God, and it's what's keeping their families a lot closer. Now, I'm not saying all Muslim families are great. There's a lot of trauma in those families too. People are doing the wrong things in those families, like hitting their kids, you know, or teaching them wrong things, like, hey, you should be a terrorist, you know. I'm not saying that they will be. I mean, I'm not saying that there's Christians that are terrorists. There are Christian terrorists out there. You know, they are very extremist in whatever they think they're doing, you know, but some of them are racist, saying, oh, you know, Christianity is only like a white race, you know, religion. Now, that's not the truth. You know, Christianity is a Jewish religion, regardless how you look at it. Yeah, you know, true. And is an Asian, you know, descended from the Asian continent. So if you really want to break it down, you know, further, but that's what it really comes down to. If you want to become a good family member, you have to have codes, these principles, to build you that family. Let's say you didn't have trauma. Let's say you did grow up around a good family, your mom and dad, and they did what they're supposed to, get a job and had steady income, bills were paid, they played with you. But some, believe it or not, there's some white kids or black kids, it doesn't matter really your race, right? You know, Asian too, and they still feel disconnected from their family. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I got the house, I got everything I wanted, but I don't know my cousins. I don't know my aunt and uncles. Or when they do come over, I feel like I'm the black sheep and no one wants to talk to me. And that also comes to the leadership role of the father. If their son or daughter feels left out, they don't feel like they need to play with them other kids, or them other kids don't look at them like they family, it's because you're doing something that's making them you're unlikable. Right. Unapproachable. Yeah. Right. And that really stems down to, again, as if you want to be a great parent, you have to implement better training to enhance your personality. You have to be able to talk to people, show them that you're not just, you can be introverted, but you can't be 100% introverted. You have to be also talkative. You should be able to talk to your kids about anything, ask them what's going on with their life, share stories about your experiences, your trauma sometimes. And even though they say not to share some of your traumas to your kid. I tell my sons, hey man, you know, I tell my son all the time, like, I grew up without food. I grew up without my parents. But, you know, I always reassure them, but I'll be there for you. You know, I learned what, you know, that pain, how that pain feels like. Sometimes, like, my son doesn't eat all his food, right? And that after I told him I grew up without food, now he cleans the chicken bone, including the joint. So you see him, like, it's the cleanest chicken bone you'll ever see.
Yeah.
You know, I've been telling him, you know, it's like, man, you didn't have to go that far, but yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, but he understood the message, you know?
Yeah. Totally. Dude, I think also it's like there's a big distinction between like sharing your traumas with your kids, which is like if you're explaining the stories of things you've healed from versus you're hiding from life because of these traumas. So like, for example, like how I see this is kind of like you pursuing your music career is a version of you not passing on trauma. If you were to say, nah, that's for whatever, I'm too old, blah, 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 then you'd be passing your trauma on to them without even like the words, but just by your actions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it's a trip that like, I think it's cool because it's almost like you're fulfilling the opposite of what you were dealt. It's like you were dealt this hand of like all these people who are supposed to care for you and love you, like kind of abandoning or not caring as much as they should or doing what they really was right, you know? Like, it's like people who do that kind of have given up on themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like for you to take this on and be an example for your kids, for you to take on, I'm going to become a fucking rap star at this point. Like your kids see that and that's doing more, I think, than like anything you can even say to them, you know? Cause it's like, look, your dad's willing to pursue his dreams. Like how many other adults out here are willing to pursue their dreams? How many people are willing to pursue their dreams all the way at all, let alone once we become adults and we've become established in certain areas of life, you know? So like, I see you leading by example is like the biggest thing because how many parents are like, oh, go chase your dreams, go live your dreams. Well, what are you doing, mom or dad? Oh, I'm fucking slaving away at this job I hate, coming home, bringing this energy I don't like doing. You know, it's like, what place does that individual have the right to say anything? Like I check myself, I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna tell my kids this, can they pull my card at any moment and it's fucking valid? You know, like, so that's where it's like, dude, I had that example with my oldest son, my stepson, Nate. He was like he was into like books and music and all this. And I'm into like skateboarding and bikes and like sports and shit. And it was like, I was already like, dude, I've broken 72 bones. I'm good. I don't need to do anything else. I've done the craziest shit I could think of. I don't need to push the limits anymore. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. But then, for example, we go to the top of the skate ramp. Whoa, shit. Sorry. And I was like, Nate, drop in. Just fucking stomp the front. Oh, he's fucking freaking out. I'm like, bro, just go. And it's just like me standing there shouting at it. It doesn't do anything. It's just making him more freaked out and getting in his head. Rather, I say, you know what? Give me that fucking skateboard. Watch. Bow. Did it. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh, that's what you mean. I'm like, yeah. And then to me, I took that as a very, very deep thing, not just like skateboarding, but it's like to pursue your dreams and to like have the conversations about it openly and say, look, yeah, we don't have this yet, but this is why we're doing this. And this is why we're doing this. And like, I think it's cool and it's just more and more rare to find people who are willing to like do their shit and lead by example rather than just say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Like, because when I look at you and I see, I'm like, damn, this fool, he's grown up, he's got a whole family, and he's willing to start a rap career now. Like, to me, it's not crazy because that makes like, yeah, of course. Why the fuck wouldn't you if that was what you wanted to do? You know, like that's not crazy. But to how many people does that sound fucking crazy? Like, look, it's like we see the comments on your posts or on your internet on some songs and shit. And it's like, yo, people don't even know how to handle themselves, like let alone even control what they're typing out of their fingers. You know, so like, I just want to acknowledge you for taking on creating your dreams and living it and pursuing it, and just know that it's not selfish or bad or anything to take the time to do that for yourself, because that's more valuable than like time you can spend sometimes time you can spend with your kids or not, you know, like that leading by example and then getting to bring them with you. They get to see the whole thing. Like, that's so fucking sick, dude. Like, I remember it's like when I talked to Calvin last time, I was like, dude, like, oh no, we were at the nigga music video and I was just asking him questions like, oh, like, what do you think about this? What do you think when you see your pops do this or whatever, you know, all this. And he was just like, it was just kind of like beyond. He was just like, almost didn't even have words for it. It was just like this feeling I got from him. And it was just like this deep, like appreciation and like, yeah, like this is really fucking cool. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this either sort of thing, you know? I'm like, fuck yeah, that's good shit. Because then it's like another thing, and when I notice this with like very standard white families, is that, and black families too, actually. Shit, I mean, I guess all different families, but but it's like, okay, let me rephrase this. American families. I see many American families not refuse, but they do not have in-depth conversations with their kids about life or why people react to them the way they do. It's like when Nate was getting bullied, I was like, bro, after we dissected the whole thing, it's like, you're standing too close to people and you're talking too loud and you didn't brush your teeth good enough. That's why people don't like you right now. It's like, everything you're up to is cool. Who you are is good. You're a good person. You do good things. But like, if people aren't responding to you well, why? And it's like, well, because this factor, this factor, this factor. And it's like, somebody should know if they're standing too fucking close to people, talking to people. Like, your parents should tell you that shit, or your mentor, somebody, right? Like, so I see a lot of people don't have this guidance of cues to like activate their mindfulness. So it's like, I know it's like when me and my kids go anywhere, it's like self-check, surrounding check, essentially. You know, it's like, all right, you good, blah, 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 cool. Okay, watch for cars now. And then, you know, and it's just like explaining what the fuck is going on as we're doing it. And it's like, we, like for my family, we sit and we have conversations about fucking nothing's off limits. Like in our family, anything is allowed to fucking get brought up, get talked about, whatever. It's like, so I see though how that creates like kids who just fucking like blossom and like have this spirit and this energy that kind of like flows through them when they meet other adults, meet other people. And like, I think how you can tell if you're doing good parenting is if you find another adult who's like mindful and has some sense and they see your kids and they're like, ooh, this kid's dope. Like, that's a big tell, because like most adults aren't willing to just like interact with kids. You know, so many adults are afraid to interact with kids. I've noticed that, especially working with kids. I see so many dads who are afraid of their own kids. Yeah. Like, that shit makes me so sad, dude. Like, I see dads who are just like, like they don't know how to do anything or say anything. Like, oh, good job. It's like, bro, it takes more than that, dude. Like, I don't know. What do you think about having family conversations with your kids, or like being open about everything?
So, I mean, I guess I'm blessed to have a little bit average, having an IQ a little bit more than the average person. But the fact that I went out and, you know, received my education, you know, went to college. I didn't do well in high school or elementary school, like, you know, stuff like that, because I had a really bad head start, or not head start, but a really bad start, because I had to learn English very late in my youth, and I didn't even master English until I was like in my 20s. So the fact that I went to college and mastered English and got my degree in honors, and being able to, you know, retire out the military at a very high rank and position, allowed me to essentially have a large amount of different experiences and knowledge. And I still, even till to this day, I still take time to learn more about life. You know, I always, you know, put on a documentary or learn about science. My biggest thing is about black holes. I can't tell you everything about black holes, but every time I see a clip about black holes, I take the time to, you know, listen to the theories of, you know, what creates a black hole and the different types of black holes, you know, and and the science that goes beyond gravity and stuff like that. Space, it always intrigues me because it's there. We're literally in there. We're in space, but you can't touch it. If you touch it, you die. You touch the vacuum space, you die. It's like, well, you can't win.
Yeah.
You see it, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's just that's just how it is. And that's the thing. A lot of adults are not willing. It goes back to training and learning. A lot of adults refuse to. The average adult, you say, hey, you want to go to college? No, I don't want to go to college. Why? It's too hard. I'll fail. So, fucking fail. Yeah. Well, at least you tried. Oh, I don't want to waste the money. It's bad investment. You don't go nowhere with a college. Yeah, but you're limited. Your intelligence now. Oh, you don't need to go to college to be intelligent. That's why you're not intelligent. Oh, no, I'm very intelligent. Whatever I'm doing. Okay, so if your kid wants to go to college and now they learn whatever they in college and they want to talk to you about something in college and you just can't relate now. Oh, hey, Dad, I learned this in college. I went to medical school and I learned, the autonomy of the body, the anatomy of the body. And, did you know something about, the things that happen right here with the cells and stuff like that? Oh, I don't want to hear about that. I don't know anything about that. Now you limited yourself, that communication with your kids. They learned all this but they're trying to talk to you about it and you just shut them off. It's like, oh, I don't want to talk to you about it. That's where the intelligence come in, the training comes in. You want to talk about leadership. You want to be a better leader for the family. But then again, you refuse leadership roles in your job. You refuse to be a manager. You refuse to be district manager. You refuse to be part of the board of directors because you want to be just a worker, just the guy who clocks in, clocks out, right? Oh, that doesn't make me that you don't need those positions to be a good leader. But you know what? It tests your ability to be a good leader. Yeah, you're right. You don't have to be in those positions to be a leader. But how would you know how well of a leader you are if you're not in those positions? Yeah. So now, like, you refuse accountability and responsibility of other people underneath you. So how now you have your kids? Hey, Dad, I wanna be a basketball star. Oh, okay, cool. Go ahead, kid. Go sign up. But you're not teaching them how to play basketball. Yeah. You're never there for their basketball games. You're never there, when it comes for and believe it or not, there's a lot of parents they'll sign up their kids and just, hey, have fun, kid. Yeah. And never go to a game. They'll probably go to 1 or 2 games. What's the point? I'm there I always bring my work with me when my kids go to karate tournaments, but they see me there. At least they know I'm there. Yeah. They see me there. I'll look at what they're doing. When it's my kid's turn to do his thing, because I'm gonna be real with you, it's literally 90% waiting, and then that 10% is the kid. Then I'll do my work on the 90%. As soon as my kid shows up and do their thing, I stop what I'm doing and just watching them, Yeah. And then the award ceremony, all that stuff. But a lot of parents won't do that. They'll leave it to either the mom, to do all that, and that's not being a great role model to your kids. Being a great role model is to do everything in your power to be the leader of the family. Learn more. When I mean learn more. Learn more about math. Learn more about finances. Learn more about how to be a better leader, how to be a better educator, how to be a better communicator, how to be a religious person, how to get in touch with your emotions, your spiritual side, everything. That's what makes a great role model as a parent, that's when it comes to what family means. Or how to improve your family, how to be a great family. It really starts with the father. Yeah. The father is the key figure of the family. If the man is mediocre, right, just the base of the line, afraid to do anything to improve themselves, just rather drink beer, hang out with the homies, and watch their kids hang out with their friends and their homies, and wonder why their kids are joining gangs. I don't know, man, my kid just joined a gang. I don't know what else to do. Or my girl stopped talking to me, man. She's just doing whatever the fuck she want to do, And then that's the whole reason why. Because they couldn't trust you no more. They couldn't trust you being a leader. Yeah. So they just went out and did their own thing because they can't talk to you. You're overweight. You're doing all the wrong things. By doing nothing, that's also doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like doing nothing, that's doing something already. So if you want to be a better parent, a stronger parent, more willing parent, you got to go out there and just improve yourself dramatically. If involve your kids in everything that you do. A lot of people are afraid of doing that. I don't want to see my kids do what I'm doing. I take them to the parties with me. Fuck it. If they see me drink, they know I'm drinking. I mean, I don't want them to see me like crash out and drunk on the ground and throwing up all over myself. I don't need to be that part. But if you're doing that in front of your kids, there's something deeper you need to address.
Majorly. So do you talk to your kids about all these different topics and stuff?
Oh yeah. In fact, today, as we're driving in the car, and as you may know, that a lot of my songs are very vulgar. Yeah. A lot of fucks, a lot of bitches, a lot of pussy. A lot of the things that kids should not be listening to. However, I mean, shit, man, I was listening to Naughty by Nature at age 7, man. Like, some OPP, Yeah. I was listening to like Bone Thugs and Harmony at age 11, age 12, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I didn't go out there and start shooting people. Yeah. But music is music, and you hear people when they do it, and it makes you feel good if you take the music the right way. So when I'm showcasing my music to my wife and the kids, and she's asking like, should we be playing this music? It's like, yeah, we should. In fact, they should understand what their father is talking about. Yeah. Like, yeah, but you're talking a lot about booty and sex and there's some gang stuff in there. It's like, yeah, great. When is not a good time for them to listen to? I could die tomorrow, and then they never heard their father's music. Yeah,
real shit. These are all elements of real life too. Yeah,
so that's the thing. At least they know I'm not embarrassed of my music. They know I'm confident in my music. That's one thing I'm showing them. I'm confident in my music. I'm not embarrassed to show my music. That's another key factor. Don't be. A lot of parents are embarrassed of their faults, their weaknesses. Yep. Like, don't be afraid. They show them that you are human, and that's another step of being a better parent. A lot of people are afraid like their kids might be embarrassed of them.
Dude. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, traditionally in 1950, with all your tattoos, you'd be considered one of them bad parents. Yeah. Definitely. But the fact that you like willing to show your kids, and I made this decision when I was a lot younger, but I'm willing to accept who I am. This is who I am. I love myself. Yep. The same thing that when it comes to my music and the things that I do, I show my kids I love myself. I really do. I love myself. There's times where I might be a little bit overweight. Guess what? They see me do when I get a little overweight. I start exercising. Yep. So they know that I'm capable of exercising. They see I'm capable of working. They see me work late nights, early mornings, every day, even with the music. It's like, oh, Dad, where you going? Going to the studio. They know where the studio is at. They know who I'm working with. They know what I do there.
Yeah. No, that's dope. And it shows them what's possible in life, because if they're taking your maximum performance and that's their base level of life, like, imagine what their maximum performance going to be if their baseline is your maximum. Yeah. Like, that's fucking dope, dude. Yo, my computer's dying hella quicker than normal. Wait, I'm going to take a break real quick and I'm going to grab the charger. Okay. 1 second.
Damn, dude.
All right, we're back. Excuse me. All right, yeah, shit. Where did we leave off? I guess we kind of wrapped up that last point. How do you take time spent versus money earned in regards to like spending, or in terms of being with your family? Like, because that's the thing I know a lot of dudes struggle with. People say, oh, work-life balance. And it's like, well, hold on. We don't need to balance it. Let's harmonize it. So like, how do you fit when you need to go make money versus spending time with family?
I feel like when it comes to making money, man, that's tough, man. Like, I love the hustle, That's what I do. I mean, or else I won't be talking to the stuff that I'm talking about. Love the hustle, man. That's part of the dream. Like, growing up, not having money, and then when I saw Paid in Full, when Money Mitch was talking, it's like I love this shit, you know. That line alone inspired me to hustle, you know. I love this shit, you know. I'm willing to work almost damn near 20 hours a day if I could to make that money. And when I look at my children's eyes and when I look at their, you know, beautiful faces and my wife's face and they want to hang out and stuff like that, I have to turn the switch off, you know, and be like, okay, it's time to be a family man. You know, we'll make money, but even though like today, like I still make money. I woke up at 6 a.m., made my money, and then like at noon we went out to go do a family thing. You got to switch things off as a hustler, you know. Family first at the end of the day, because what's the point of the hustle if you got nothing to live for, you know? So I live for my family. When it comes to the family and spending time with them, man, there's multiple ways of doing it, and a lot of families, it's a lot of good. I see a lot of good families out there. They're out on the beach. They're out eating with each other. And like today, man, it was full family day everywhere. Everywhere I went to, parking lots are full. I see the kids with their parents at the dining tables, everything. Families are out there doing family things. But as even you, I saw that you was you know, riding bikes with your kids earlier, and that's family, you know. Yeah. That's family time. And as for me, same thing, you know. In terms of spending money and hanging out with the family, in order to make that happen, and I'm really meaning by spending time, like shut it off, like stop the hustle, like don't think about money, don't think about marketing, don't think about nothing, don't think about the business. That's hard to switch for businessmen. Yeah, businessmen's whole, it's fuck yeah. Worker man is different. Working man, it's like I'm at job, I clocked in, I clocked out, and my job's at the, you know, it's left at the door, right? Yep. But for businessmen, hustlers, the job is always open.
Every idea is work.
Yeah. You know, I'm at we're eating, and like I'm forcing myself to not like market or talk to fans and stuff like that. I'm forced to, like, I look at the phone, I was like, I always have to put it down, right? Yeah. And look at my family's face when they're talking to me and stuff like that. And I catch myself always trying to do something business wise on the phone. It's like having the phone is also a crutch too, you know. But when it's time to hang out with family, the most important thing is enjoying the moment. That's the most important thing about being with the family. It's enjoying the moment. So a lot of times when I go out, you'll never catch me with the phone doing videos and taking pictures. I leave that to my wife to take the pictures, because she understands that as soon as I look at the phone, the phone's stuck. Yeah. So I always have my phone in my pocket when we're out with the family, and her job is to take pictures of us, right? And the reason why we do that is so that way I get to enjoy the moment, right? And that's the most important thing, enjoying the moment with your kids and being there. Like a good example, my daughter, she loves the swings, right? And she hops on the swing, and I'm pushing her. I know she can swing on her own, you know, but I'm pushing her. And another girl was next to her, and her dad comes around, and she's full on swing on her own, right? And the dad, and I'm just listening. I don't want to interject. I don't want to put in my opinion. I don't know the man. I don't want to do nothing with this man, but I'm just listening. And he's like, I don't know why you have me here. You're doing great. You're swinging by yourself. And the reason why she wants him over is because she sees me pushing my daughter. Yeah. You know, and he's like, oh, you don't need me. I shouldn't be here. And he's giving every excuse to not be there. Fuck. Every excuse. Yeah. And I'm pushing 39 this year, right? In June. The man looks like he's in his 50s, but the same age daughter. Yeah. I'm like, damn, it's like this guy is overweight, balding, and he's giving every excuse to not push his daughter. Man, what if that was your last day? You had that stroke right then and there. Yeah. I would. My best friend died at age 32 from a stroke. He never got to have a family of his own. Never had a girl of his own. He struggled at trying to find a relationship, you know. But like that's how I look at life. Like I could have that stroke. The story that how my best friend died in his dad's arm, that haunts me forever. I took that as a lesson that any day is really my last day. He came back from the gym. He was overweight. He always struggled with his weight because he loved food so much. But like, he came back from the gym and he had a stroke that night. Fuck. You know, and I look at that, man. It's like, man, it's like I could have that stroke too. That's how I live my life. I don't want to say I want to premeditate my death, but I could have that stroke right now. Me and you could have. I could walk out that door. I'm having that stroke. You know, I go back home and then bam.
Yeah.
I don't want to. And from what I heard from a lot of people who survived their deaths, they all say the same thing. Your life will pass right in front of you. If you're lucky enough and you survive that one.
Yeah.
And that should be a learning lesson to you, right? But I don't want to have that learning lesson. I want to have that. I'm going to enjoy the time with my children as much as I can when we're out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like, you know, when I see my kids, I want to just follow them. Like many adults, when they go to the park and their kids, they automatically go into the jungle gym and just having fun. I'm in there with them.
Me too. Every time.
I'm a big ass dude. Yep. A lot of people, they might hear my voice, but they don't know how really big I am. I'm a big ass mother. I'm a gorilla. I'm the Asian version of Dwayne Rock Johnson. Yeah. I'm a big ass motherfucker, right? So I'm in there like this just big ass dude in this, you know, jungle gym following my kids. I'm not going down the slide. I don't get stuck, you know. But I'm just following them up and down, and the family members are looking at me like I'm like, what the?
Yep.
Let them kids play, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, and my kids, they love it. Even though I'm not going down the slide with them, they love the fact I'm following them.
Yep.
You know, because they feel like they're not playing by themselves.
Yeah.
I'm there with them, and my daughter and my son, they just love the fact that I'm there pushing them on the swing, because they can swing anytime. When they're at school, they're playing them by themselves. But the fact that I'm taking my time and putting away the phone and stop the hustle, just pushing and enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
That's magical to them.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely, man. That's like, and that's the thing too. It's like when you're a kid, there's nothing more that you want than like the people you love to pay attention to what you're doing, because everything you're doing, it's like, this is something I think too. It's like adults forget, like when we see kids do something, the reaction is like, oh, that's so cool. But then all of a sudden when you're an adult doing the same thing, doesn't get that same reaction anymore. So it's like, oh, you tied your shoes. Good job. That's so cool. So like kids are like expecting to be hyped the fuck up about certain things, you know? And it's like, if you miss the cool jump they did off the fucking park thing, you know, that shit matters. It counts and it adds up. And it's like, the more points you have against you where it's like, oh, dad don't give a shit. Like the more your kid is already like, not consciously, but like subconsciously premeditating their being like hella crazy as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Just wilding the fuck out when they turn 18, 15, whatever, you know? Like, it's like, I remember I grew up with these two Jewish girls and their family was just locked down. These girls were not allowed to fucking do anything. Like, everything was monitored, controlled everything. And like, I'm growing up and like they viewed our family as like, yo, your kids are crazy. I mean, like, cause I'm like a free kind of kid, you know? And like growing up though, as soon as we all hit teenagers, these girls are wilding out, like showing their titties in bars and TJ and just like the whole like wild ass thing. And I was like, fuck, I didn't need to do like the male equivalent to that, cause I already fucking did some shit of freedom at fucking 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you know? Like there's no need to go and rebel against this stupid ass structure that you put because you're lazy, you know? Like that's one thing Meg and I talk about a lot is like, or like, because we're always analyzing our parenting. It's like, all right, did I handle this good? Should we do this, that, whatever? You know, always just like making corrections.
Yeah.
And like one thing that drives both of us crazy is like lazy ass parenting. It's like, dude, you only get one fucking shot. What are you doing? You know, it's like, to teach your kids bad habits on purpose, to laugh at it, to find it funny. It's like all these things like that. Like I literally see this shit. I'm like, dude, that's disgusting. How can you, I don't know. It's like there's our time's so limited with our kids and our family and our just life. You know what I mean? It's like we literally could just just be dead like that. So it's like, it just, to see lazy parenting, specifically parents who take shortcuts with shit. It's like a good example is like iPad raised kid. It's like, dude, all right, we're going out to eat. Bring the iPad. Da, da, da. It's like, I thought we're going to eat. What do you mean? Like going to go play video games? That's a different activity. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not just gonna, because you're scared to talk to your kid. Oh, I don't want this. You don't want them to make noise. You don't want them to whatever. It's like, no, that's lazy as fuck. Like, fuck the iPad. Leave it at home. Talk to your kids. Raise them. Be there. Like, enjoy a meal together. Like, and I see this shit all over, and I'm like, dude, that sucks. That's so lazy. And those shortcuts are going to cause trouble in the future. Because what happens when your kid doesn't know how to sit for a meal? What happens when your kid doesn't know how to have general respect? You know, like, then what? Like,
that's a good example because I have, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I have a certain group of people that I'm dealing with. And, they come into my household and they have this kid, right? Very young. He's 5 years old. And I can't really tell other people how to raise their family. Mm-hmm. However, there's certain things I can't allow in my house, right? Period.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, what you want to do as a family. You have your limitations with your beliefs and philosophies. However, as the leader of my home, it's my home, right? The leader of my home, I can't have you set different examples in front of my children. Mm-hmm. So their 5-year-old kid comes into the dining table. He brings his iPad and he wants to watch whatever he wants to watch, right? It's like having a TV when you're having TV dinner, right?
Yeah.
But he brings his iPad to the table, and my daughter's like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my iPad." It's like, no. First of all, you're not bringing your iPad. You turn off your shit. Take that shit back upstairs. He goes and he snitches.
Yeah.
Oh, what you tell my kid? I was like, look. This is dining table. You eat. You get done. You get up and you do. You don't need to be on that, watching like whatever it is on the phone like 24/7. That's it. Your face is already glued. How many hours already on this thing?
Yeah.
You forget to look around. Mm-hmm. You forget the faces around you.
Yeah.
The only face you see, it's other people's faces on your phone or cartoon, whatever. You see everything but the people around you. And that's how people forget family. Yeah. So, like, they got offended at first. I kept on, stern talking. I keep, hey, take that, I don't care. Take that iPad out. Take it out. And eventually they start, it took them a while, but eventually now they go down and the kid, it's like, take it back. Mm-hmm. I mean, like the older kids, like the 16, 17-year-old, they work part-time with their parents but they're eating by themselves. So it's fine having the iPad there.
Yeah.
But when you have a group of people there eating, dining, congregating with each other, no iPads on the table. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to watch you watch something while we're eating.
Yep.
Because when you're congregating with people, it's not that there's no feeling better than being able to talk about whatever you want. When it's like, hey boy, what you do at school today? Oh, I did this, blah, blah, blah. Talking about the food. Hey, how you like the food? How's the food? Oh, I love the food. But you can't have those conversations when you have something in front of you distracting you from those conversations.
Yep.
So yeah, man, like, definitely. So when it comes down to stuff like that, man, you have to take the leadership role of your parenting very seriously, and that includes, having rules, having principles, not being so lax on character development. Again, as the parent, you want to be a great leader, and in order to be a great leader, you have to be a great principal. There's a reason why the principal is called the principal in the school. Their job is to maintain the school's integrity and the principles that comes along to teaching the children. Mm-hmm. That includes your children. So you have principals at home. They go to school. It's easier for the teachers.
Yeah, dude. No, absolutely. And that's one thing I've noticed too, because I've been working with families over the last 15 years, and it's like, most of the families I get, like, they're very smart. They're with it, to even be using my service in the first place. But then, like, I see these people who they use money as everything. And I'm like, yo, like I've literally heard moms tell me stories of like, oh yeah, so we'll just let the school teach them that. Or I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you know better and you're aware of this, why would you not talk to your own kid about this? Like, that's hella weird. You know?
And it's not their fault in a sense.
Yeah,
But it's also their fault too, because they refuse to take accountability for themselves. Like, I remember, like, you want to be a great teacher. You want to be. It's again, these kids didn't want to be here. By you procreating and bringing these people along, you have a new duty, and that duty is to be the best version of yourself.
Yep.
That includes being better educated, better trained as an individual on how to communicate, how to lead, be a spiritual person. Again, it's being the best version of yourself, a better whole version of yourself. You know, we all start with weaknesses. Like, no one's built perfect, and if you are, I doubt it. You know, everybody has weaknesses. Even the most perfect person has weaknesses. So, like, like Michael Phelps is a great swimmer, but he's not going to be the best basketball player.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jordan was a great basketball player, but it doesn't mean he's going to be the greatest baseball player either.
Yeah.
You know, everybody excels in something, but there's always something you can work on, and that includes myself. I'm not perfect again, but I do that. What separates me amongst my peers and everybody who's, I guess, in the same league as I am, is the fact is to identify your faults, your weaknesses, man. If you know, like, I bet right now we go drop down and let's see who can do the most push-ups. I bet I'll knock out 70.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go squats toe for toe, I mean, I can do more than 50 squats. You know, I'm not saying like there's people who run marathons. I can't run a marathon. You know, there goes a weakness right there. Bam.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm great at, if you want to talk about black holes, we can talk about black holes all day, but you'd be like, hey, but you know, the species of different plants, like, no, or mushrooms, whatever. No, I wouldn't be able to talk about. Seeing those are weaknesses, and as long as you identify the weaknesses as your parenting skills, like, I don't know how to deal with kids being bullied, then fucking learn about it.
Yeah.
Find techniques on how to help your children cope through bullying, getting bullied.
Yep.
Or it's like, oh, well, my son's not a great communicator. Well, they're probably not a good communicator because you're not a good communicator. Go learn about communication and pass that along to your children, you know?
Yep.
It's never too late to get better at something and then press forward and passing that information forward.
Yep. Dude, definitely. And like, that makes me think too. It's like when it makes me crazy when I see or hear other parents frame their kids into these boxes. Oh, he's not a good communicator. It's like, motherfucker, stop talking like that then. Like, why don't we say this different? Oh, we need to practice some communication skills. Like, that's a way different outcome and how that kid's going to take it versus, oh, he's not a good communicator. Like, people told me I was a bad test taker when I broke my arm when I was in 4th grade. And I was like, oh, I never heard that. Yeah, I'm not a good test taker. I can't do my homework and I can't take the test either. I'm not good at tests, whatever. And then that became an excuse as to like why I did shitty for the rest of high school or junior high, elementary, junior high, high school. I was like, oh, I'm just a bad test taker. And then it was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, that's some bullshit. Like, when it's a test that you brought on yourself, it's fine. But all of a sudden it's like, oh, this test to test how much you know. All of a sudden it's this problem. Like, and I'm like, damn, I'm just feeding myself bullshit because somebody else fed it to me and I just fucking kept eating it. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
Like another good example with that is like me and my wife and daughter. So my daughter was doing some subtractions, right? And I was like, the answer, it's 10, and then you got the equal sign, and then 6. So 6 minus what equals 10, right? Mm-hmm. Or is it 6? Or no, not 6. Sorry, it wasn't that. It was like the answer was 6, and then equals, and then you got the 10. So it's 10 minus what equals 6, right? Mm-hmm. And so actually the answer is right there. So my wife was telling my daughter, it's like, oh, count your fingers, see how many more you need to get to 10. To figure out the answer, right? Mm-hmm. And I had told my wife, like, no, let's try this different method because my wife was getting frustrated that my daughter couldn't get the answer right. And I had explained it to my daughter. It's like, hey, look, the answer is right there, baby. 6 plus what equals 10 versus 10 minus what equals 6, right?
Yeah.
And she, oh, it's 4. 4 plus 6 equals 10. Right there, that's your answer. And we tried it again with a different one, right? And my wife was like, I told my wife, like, hey, hold on. Sometimes, there's more than one ways to get the answer. And I told her, my daughter, the answer is right there. If the answer is 10, right, the 10 is the answer. What's going to take you to, to that? And then that's how you have to break it down to your kids sometimes. Like, my wife is like, she'll never get that answer. Oh, well, it's like, you don't know. You have to allow them to get that answer. So you gotta allow them to fail sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? And that's how you get smarter. If you already knew the answer, we wouldn't be here.
Right. Exactly. Totally. And I think that's the other piece too, is to hold space for that individual as it being possible.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get frustrated and be like, fuck, this person's never gonna get it. But then it's like, okay, no, hold on. Let me recheck myself. All right, I'm going to hold the space for you to where inside of this space, we believe you can do it.
Yeah.
So come enter the space.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I wouldn't be able to explain it like that to my wife. And the real lesson wasn't for my daughter now.
Right,
the lesson's
right.
for my wife now.
Yeah.
I'm giving my wife the lesson. Even though we've been married for 14 years, we're still learning from each other. And and between me and her, I'm the only one who graduated from college. She has some college, but with that being said, I still have more the professional experience, the more educated experience and life experience, and my wife is just really there witnessing all of it happening. And I'm still because of that, she's learning through me as well. So as the leader of the family, as the head honcho of the family, all the training that I went through, all the education I went through, all the life experience I went through, is allowing me to be a great father figure to my children and to my wife, a great husband, because now I can lead also not just my children, right? We like to talk about our children, but we also got to be a leader to our spouse. She's looking up to me to make the right decisions. She's looking up to me to ensure that we have enough money per month to pay the bills, go get food, pay, for the fuel, this, buy that, if they need clothes and stuff. She's looking at me to maintain my composure. She understands she can be annoying sometimes. I can be annoying too. And, that's just how it is when you live with somebody else,
Yeah, yep.
And that's what me as the leader, the head honcho of the family, that's what a lot of families lack. Sometimes some of the men like to pass that leadership role to the woman. That's the wrong thing to do. Yeah, she might be a strong woman, a very dominating woman. In fact, she may have a lot of great answers, but at the end of the day, you should be the one making the final decision.
Yeah.
Say, we should do this. Analyze it. You know what? Yes, wife, we should do it. Be the one to stamp on it. Yeah, yep, let's execute it.
Yeah.
That comes with, a lot of training. A lot of men refuse that leadership training. They refuse to get educated and take on leadership positions at work, in their society. They refuse to do volunteer work at their church, or not at their church, maybe Boys and Girls Club, whatever, man. There's a lot of people who only focus on going to work, get home, get drunk, go to sleep, do it again.
Yeah.
Kids having a soccer game. Oh, okay, I'll be there. They'll go. I've seen those parents, they're sitting in the bench. But that's the most they'll do.
Yeah.
They won't do anything else to improve themselves.
Yep.
They won't exercise. If they do exercise, they exercise, but then it's like same thing. They go to work. They hang up the hat and then just be like, oh, hey, Dad, what you doing? Oh, just exercise.
Yep.
I always when I exercise, I tell my kids exactly what I'm saying. Oh, I'm doing 5 sets of 20s. I'm doing 3 sets of this, and I tell them what muscles I'm targeting. And my kids are, oh, you're hitting quads again? It's like, yeah, I'm hitting quads. I'm hitting these hamstrings real quick. Let me get these biceps in. They know that I'm using big words. They know I'm using, I'm identifying different parts of the body parts. I don't brush off any easy questions either. They're like, hey dad, how come the sky is blue? Oh, I tell them it's the sky is blue is because it's when the sun's out, it's the sky is a reflection of the ocean. It's just if the ocean is blue, it's gonna make the sky blue. That's why when the sun's down, you can see space. Yeah. And then see the stars. Oh yeah. And that's because I'm educated enough to describe the science behind it.
Yep. Yeah. Dude, no, definitely. That's very important. Again, it's like telling your kids and your family the truth. That's another huge ass thing I see people aren't willing to do, is they're not willing to tell their kids the truth about shit. That fucks me up. I can't stand when I see that. I'm like, motherfucker, you're doing damage on purpose right now. Like, stop, you know? And then I think that comes back around to like where I see specifically a lot of men are lacking. Well, let me re-say this. I see most men are lacking, but the men who have really taken it on are like fucking killing it with it, which is emotional intelligence. Like, so many men lack emotional intelligence, and it's like the moment they feel something, it's like, ego, rage, all this shit, trauma, all this shit. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute. Let's have some emotional intelligence. The same way we can go get educated about what exists in this world, we can also go get educated about what exists inside of our body and our brain and our own thinking and feeling world, you know? So like, for me, I've felt like the most important baseline I want my kids to have, like for their own personal development, is good emotional intelligence. Because I see how many people, it's like, that's the thing that'll make you make good decisions or not, or fucking be irritating or not, or be whatever, right? Like with emotional intelligence, it cues us into everything and everybody. Like if I stop and I observe like people in public from a place of an emotionally intelligent spot versus just looking at it from like a judging spot, it's like two entirely different realities show up, you know? So like, I think with these types of conversations and like telling our kids the truth and explaining things, like how you're breaking it down, oh, I'm doing this many of this, I'm doing this, and this, equals a level of emotional intelligence for you, because you're not like, I'm just working out, leave me alone, get out of my space. Like that's how most people take it when they're working out or something, and their kid's like, what are you doing? What's this? You know, it's like, no, take the time to be emotionally intelligent. Like our emotions deserve and require as much intelligence as daily life, you know? Yeah. Like, so I see that like just hella missing is the emotional intelligence. Because then you got kids, it's like, and that's the other problem too with like kids who are raised on iPads and shit, is like there's no emotional intelligence / self-awareness or mindfulness with the kids who are raised like this. Like how can they? It's like, here's your iPad. Like, what the fuck? What about when you get your heart broken? What about when a girl breaks up with you? What about when the bully fucking pushes you in the water? What about whatever, right? Like, what are you going to do? What about when the class laughs at you? Yeah. Then what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, most people can't handle being laughed at or whatever, like, or being made fun of or told that their shit sucks or whatever. And it's like, I know for me, I can only put out any of this shit based off of my own emotional intelligence. Otherwise, I'd be too scared to say what the fuck I want to say, you know? And especially have other people come and say what they want to say too. It's like, it's too many opportunities for judgment. But it's like, my emotional intelligence says, you know what? Even if it makes me nervous, if it makes me scared, if it this, that, whatever the fuck, okay. And what?
No, you know, that's funny you say that, because I would say 100% of anybody who says anything negative online, because they have low emotional intelligence. Yes. I'm gonna be straight out with it. Yep. You can be offended all you want, but if you say, "Oh, he fucking sucks," blah blah blah, I bet you would never say that shit in front of my face. Yep. Because you see me, like I tell everybody, even in my videos, like you see my face, but you don't know how big I am in person. Mm-hmm. You see me, it's like, holy shit, you're a lot bigger than I thought. Yeah. Because the videos only capture my face, right? Mm-hmm. Even in my pictures, there was a guy who I stood next to, and they were like, "Holy shit, you're fucking huge!" Yeah, right. And it's like, "How big are you?" I'm like, "Only 6 foot." It's like, "Damn, you're like the Incredible Hulk." I was like, I guess you want to say it like that, but but it's funny. Yeah, a lot of people who want to say smack, you know, and talk their smack, they only do it behind your back, and that's because they got low emotional intelligence. Yep. they want to say, oh, the reason why like Jason sucks is because when he said these bars, it didn't make no sense. When he rapped this way, he was off beat. He might have been off beat or something like that. But they just say, oh, he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
About me, because you don't feel comfortable me doing what I'm doing. Oh yeah, there's better rappers. Of course there are better rappers than me.
Yeah.
You know? So like when it comes to my children, like my children can be goofy and doing this like that. But when I yell at my children, I tell them why I'm yelling at them. It's like, hey, like my son has an issue playing with the remote, you know, the battery cover, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like a fidget to him.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, I was like, stop playing with the goddamn remote. I said, the reason why it's not a toy, man, you break that, then the batteries come out, and then now it's more annoying to, you know, having the batteries keep coming out, and now the battery cover is gone, and then you know, it's gonna make it like hard for us like to switch channels and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you have to explain it to them like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you just say, oh, you're a fucking idiot, you stop playing with the goddamn, you know, they get scared. They don't want to. Now every time they look at a fucking TV remote, they get traumatized.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's real as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one thing I realized too, and this was very hard for me to accept. But like, for me growing up, I always felt like my like growing up story was crazier than everybody else's I knew, and I'm sure you could relate to that too. But like, within that, it was like I would always have to like prove like, oh, my story's crazy, my story's crazy. But then like, what I realized and learned was that like, the person who grew up with no extreme trauma still feels all of those same points. Because it's like, let's say I experienced pain from, you know, like my little sister, my grandma, my aunt dying in the same month when I was a kid. Like, as much as that hurt me, yeah, like it was deeper. But at the same time, like the kid who got his Game Boy taken from his parents, that was just as emotionally painful for that individual. And for me, I'll be like, man, you haven't gone through shit. But who am I to say that what that individual's experience felt like was or wasn't shit? You know, it's like, damn. So I check myself with that, where it's like, everybody's gone through shit. Even if you grew up fucking perfect, you still went through some shit. I can't understand or relate to it the same way you probably couldn't understand or relate to what I went through either, you know? And like, I think it's cool to stop and break those things down, like how you're explaining about the remote. It's like, dude, we do this because da-da-da-da-da. And then, like, kids fuck with that. And then what you're doing is you're, like, establishing respect between your child and yourself. You know, it's like, damn, my dad told me the truth.
Yeah.
Cool. You know?
Another example is, I remember there's people who I'm, you know, entertaining in my household. And that same kid, it's as fucked up as it is. They always threaten him with ultimatums.
Mm.
Oh, hey, if you don't eat that, I'm gonna smack you. You don't eat it all. Like I said, I'm gonna hit you hard. You know, or and then his siblings doing the same thing. They fall in their dad's suit.
Mm-hmm.
You stupid little. Mind you, the kid's 5 years old.
Yeah.
You don't need to be talked to like that.
Yeah.
He's still, and then he even chews me out. Why would you send my kid upstairs? Like, dude, it's 11 o'clock at night. He wants to come down and hang out with the adults. No, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay, 5 o'clock, 40, because he came and sat down and he was all butthurt and he got mad. He was like, man, my son want to come down here and want to hang out, man. You guys sending him up to his room, blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't want to argue in front of the kid. If you want to make the adult decision and bring the kid back downstairs and sit on your lap and he eating whatever, cool. I'll let it slide. However, it was fucking 11 o'clock at night. The kid didn't be sleeping.
Yeah.
First of all, he's 5 o'clock. He's a 5-year-old kid. The fuck you doing? And then now, me and his the kid's mom, we were having an adult conversation, right? And now we can't be ourselves as adults, like speaking like adults. And we want to drop F-bombs, the B-bombs, the shit bombs, all everything, right?
Right.
You know, and I also, like, you know, bringing back to my point, so this kid right here, right, they're threatening him with ultimatums. If you don't do this, you know, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. But at the same time, he's also condoning the kid to come down at 11 o'clock at night to sit around us while we're having adult conversations. Like, now we just can't be ourselves, right? That's like the fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like when it comes down to like being a good parent, you gotta have these principles, these codes, things that's gonna make a functional family. You can't threaten these kids. You know, if you like oh, if you don't eat this, I'm gonna hit you, right? Why you have to say that like that?
Yeah.
Just hey kid, like my son and daughter. I have a problem. I won't say I have a problem, but you know, in third world countries they would have loved it. But I have a problem overstuffing their plates. You know, it's like, hey, this is what you're gonna eat. You know, and then my kids are like, oh, it's like they're starting to slow down. I'm like looking at it, it's like solid half plate. I was like, nah, you're gonna eat that. You know, and they're like, Dad, I can't eat no more.
Yeah.
And then I stopped and like I asked them a question. Are you guys full? Yes, Dad, we're full. Okay, no problem. Just finish up what you can, and then we'll save the rest later. Mm-hmm. For him, he's like telling his 5-year-old kid. Mind you, my kids are like 9 and 7. His kid's 5, and he's like, "Fucking don't eat this. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, mom. Fuck you, you know, type of shit." And I'm serious. He's using those words, like threatening to fucking hurt him just because he didn't want to finish his food. You ever thought like I told him like maybe you might have made a little bit. No. He eats all this. He eats all this. Yeah, but not all the time. There's times where you've made food and you don't eat it all. Like you're forcing him to do the same. You know, like would you eat all? If I gave you 2 plates of food as an adult, right? You, Calvin, I give you 2 plates of food and you only eat 1 plate. Would you like it if I come? Hey, Calvin, hey, bro, I got you 2 plates of food. You don't fucking eat the second food plate. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, bro.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Are you going to eat this plate? I bet you're going to stand up and say, come on, let's do this right now. Let's wobble. Let's fucking do this. Right. You don't fucking threaten me.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to your son? Mm-hmm. If you're not going to do that to me as a man, like I'm a grown-ass man, I can throw punches back too, bro. Yep. You tell me that shit. Tell me I'm not going to beat your ass. Why would you say that to your son? Mm-hmm. You see that? That's that low intelligent, emotional intelligence we're talking about right here. Like if you're going to do it, like, you know, hey, ask your son, hey, kid. And the kid tells him, Dad, I'm full. Mm-hmm. Or this other day, same kid, right? And his brother made him noodles. And he's telling his brother, this kid's pretty damn smart. I watch him. He tells him, hey, I can't finish my noodles. Why? You didn't eat it all day. He tells him, it's because you made it too sour. You put too much lime in there. Mm. He was like, oh, and he's like laughing about it, and he admits it. But then now his mom is telling, go eat all yours. Like, and the kid's telling, Mom, it's too sour. Yeah, I can't finish it all. It's like, then she sits next to him trying to force feed him. And it's like, I can't eat this shit. And then it's like, I said, Jen, why don't you try it, taste it, and see if it's too sour. She tries it. Oh yeah, it's too sour. The kid's trying to tell you, he's communicating. Y'all just keep ignoring him. Yeah, you know, it's the same kid. I mean, I get it. This kid. I can't be truly mad at this kid because he's 5 years old. He can't make that many decisions, you know. Yeah. But it's also based on the parents. Like the dad gets mad because I'm sending the kid up the stairs to go sleep, and he brings him back down. Yeah. You know, and then he's the same dad that says, "You don't fucking eat your food. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." Yeah. And he will. You know, I even look at him. It's like, hey, there's a time and place for ass whoopings, and eating food is not one of them. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. You sharing all this, like, it hits home for me hella deep. Because, like, for me, I was a product of sit down and eat your food. Like, I would literally be sitting at the table for, like, 6 hours after school, just fucking crying, just trying to, like, whatever, dude. I don't even know. I would have the same plate of food for, like, a week. Like, no joke. It would be moldy on the sides. And it's like, no, eat what's in the middle. Like, I did do some fucked up shit. It's like, me and my parents, we talked about it. They were like, sorry, we didn't know fucking shit. Like, I'm like, all right, fair enough. You know, like, we were starving. Like, you needed to eat every fucking thing we had. So, like, I take that. And my understanding is, like, before it was like, yo, you have to eat everything no matter what. And it's like, even if I go out with my friends or whatever, it's like somebody leaves one French fry on the thing. No, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, I was like on it like a motherfucker. Like, I had issues, really. Not even, but I was thinking that was the right way to act about it.
So then all my kids are like, oh, I'm full. But I'm like, what the fuck, you know, like, and then I stop. Like I wasn't being as bad as like how you're explaining, but I was still like in that, entering that mode. And I'm like, and Meg had to check me a couple times, like, dude, if they're full, they're full. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't even eat that much. And then I'm doing the math of what they eat in the whole day. And it's like, it's not even about that. There's times where I don't eat anything all day and I only want this much. And then that's that. So like, but I could feel my ego just like, and I could feel like what I would consider generational trauma and shit. And it's like my parents, or more specifically, my dad was only doing that to me because he grew up poor without food for a good chunk of his life too. So he's saying, well, that's how we care for each other. You eat this. I got this for you. I work so hard. I went and worked this many hours, blah, blah. That equals this. You fucking eat this, you know, like, and I could see how like, it's just not good and it doesn't create a healthy thing. And now that it's like, I've just let go of it, as much as like my consciousness is like trying to fucking like jump in again, I'm like checking myself. I'm like, nah, it is what it is, dude. Like, we're grateful to even have too much food. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can I be grateful that we have this much that they can't finish versus the perspective of, you're ungrateful, you're not eating your food. And I'm like, oh shit, this is the exact same reality. The only difference is how I'm responding to it.
Yeah, so again, it ties back to what I was saying at the very beginning of this podcast, was that you have to identify your weaknesses, man. Identify your faults and grow from there, you know?
Yeah.
Again, we're not all perfect, but if we just take the first step to identify, it's like, I'm not a great person at all. And I want to believe to my children, to my wife, you know, or if you're a woman, to my husband, you know? And that's the thing. Like you said, you know, it's like, a lot of people are not willing to take accountability and say, how can I grow from this?
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of families struggle. That's where at the end, if you want to become a great family, you have to, you got to say, hey, starting today, I suck.
Yeah.
What can I do tomorrow to get better?
Yep.
You know, every day is a brand new day to get better. You know, I always looked at like, you know, there's times where my wife want to be lazy. She don't want to do laundry. I say, hey, as much as you know, you love being a housewife and all, I can't allow you to allow me to do all the chores around the house. You gonna have to take some, you know, of your responsibilities. And that's another part of being a great communicator in a relationship. If you suck at communicating, there's lessons online. There's articles, blogs. You got to read on those things to be a better communicator. You know, it's easy to type in how to be a better communicator. It's right there.
Yeah, literally YouTube everywhere.
Read it.
I've done that myself a gang of times, honestly.
You know, there's a mosquito right next to me.
Oh shit! Thanks. Oh bitches. We got all these bugs in here too.
Yeah. And then whatchamacallit, the same thing, like, how can I be a better parent? Type it up. Read those articles, man. How can I be a better communicator to my children? There's so many blogs, so many steps, so many self-help available. You know, hopefully this podcast could be something to help you with, you know, identify your weaknesses as a parent. And you don't have to be a gangster to be a good parent. I'm just saying that me being a gang allowed me to learn a certain trait that allowed me to implement into my family, which is, you know, brotherhood, you know, the code of never giving up on each other, you know, ride or die type thing. And I know, like, a lot of people, like, if the husband do something, the wife is quick to give up. Oh, let's get a divorce. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
You know? And then, of course, the man's going to feel some type of way. It's like, how dare you? Like, you're supposed to be my ride or die, and it's so easy to quit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm a fucking dog. You know, I'm going out there and looking at different women or whatever. I be talking to a different woman, but you shouldn't give up on me so easily. Yeah. You know, like, sometimes you need to be my leash. You know, you know, like, hey, pull me back. You know, tell me I'm bad. You know,
Right.
I'm saying that because some guys, you know, that's just how it is. Sometimes they're dogs, and women shouldn't be so quick to to give up on their man. You know, oh, you cheated on me. I can't handle this emotional. Like sometimes, like strong women can be like, you know what, my husband, he not the brightest dude. So I'm gonna say I think you should also forget and forgive too. You know, because you know not everybody has that has built up. Sometimes like families require like they need to go through things together, faults, to become a stronger family.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Meg was talking to me about this recently. It's like, dude, families go through seasons.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, like that just hit me so deep. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go through seasons, you know, and like y'all first fall in love is great, and then year 3 you're like, you know, the girl down the street with the 34 Ds start walking around, you're looking like, you know, like a dog, like, you know, I want to look at that too, you know, and then, but you know, again, you know, everybody makes mistakes, and the thing is, that it goes back to like going through lessons, being a better version of yourself, self-help, take on leadership positions. As a man, you know, that's a leadership role. So as a leader, you have to learn more about leadership, how to be a better communicator, how to learn be a better explainer, you know, be a better mentor, a better teacher, a better lover, you know, be a man of religion, be more accountable, be more active. It sucks that I have to say more, because some men are not capable of more. That's why not everybody can be the same. However, you can take any of the message that I'm putting it out there. If you want to see improvements in your family structure, you want to see families enjoying more barbecues and having better activities amongst their cousins and nephews and nieces and, you know, their aunts and uncles, you as the leader have to take that role and push it.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Sometimes money is the factor, but sometimes just being there is more important than having money. I remember being poor. I didn't care if we didn't have the money. As long as you were there, that's all that mattered to me. That's all that mattered. Like, fuck the money, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I know, Uncle, because as a kid, I knew we were broke. I know we didn't. We had one meal a day.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't have the best clothes. I didn't care, but like, even for my uncle, I wanted him to be a father figure. He never did. He never was really the father figure, even though he had a daughter and son, and I was technically the third son, right? The third child. He still never, you know, accepted his role as the father figure. He accepted the role as a husband, but never a father. Because I'd never seen him do anything for his children. You know, when my sister was a cheerleader, he never went to any of her games. You know, during her cheering event, same thing for his son. He never went there for anything for him. They did a lot of things as families and went barbecues, weddings, but like the things that really mattered.
Yeah.
You know, being there at their achievements. You know, and then that's what really bit him at the end. Now he suffered his second stroke, and now he's like, you know, he's bedridden. He can't do nothing now. I'm sure in his mind, he thinks about all the things he wished he could have done. I'm sure he is. There's no way you can sit there every day and not regret. You know, and to prevent that from me from happening, that's you know, to prevent that same mistake, I'm always there with him. Like, I'm really blessed in a sense because I don't work like everybody else. I don't work at 8 to 5. I work 24 hours, but the point is now that I can be at home and be with my kids when they get ready for school. I get to see them. I can walk them to school too. I can pick them up from school if I wanted to. I can take them to all their doctor appointment. I could be there at all their karate tournaments, their karate rank up. I was there for all their music recitals at their school when they're doing their little concerts. I'm there for all the parent-teacher conferences. I'm literally there. If they're having an accident in school, I'm the one, you know, going to the school and picking them up.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people don't get that. But, again, I was blessed somehow in some way in doing it. But because I am blessed, I also accepted that too, that blessing, meaning a lot of people in my position would not even would take that and do something else rather than, with their children.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like essentially, you have to accept the role as your parent, as the head honcho, a leader. Not just, oh, I'm the dad. Yeah, of course you're the dad. Of course, I'm not gonna take that title away from you. But what are you doing more as a father? Just going to work and paying the bills? That's not good enough, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have a dream, let your dream be the best father then. Yeah. Meaning, cool, you work a hard day with the work. You want to work at 8, you got off at 5, 6 o'clock. Fuck it. Don't just assume like your wife's gonna make great dinner. Sometimes you gotta make the dinner. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take the time to read them a book and get involved in whatever they're doing in school. Fuck your basketball game that's going on. Fuck your football game, man. Fuck all that shit, man. That's not cool. Yeah. You know what's cool? Hanging out with your kids is cool.
Yep. Yeah, bro. I couldn't agree more, man. That's like that is the magic, bro. And I so fuck with that to the fullest degree. Like, and then just to add to that a little bit too, I think another piece that's so fucking dope and so overlooked by so many men specifically, and it's what their woman is even craving, is like to connect with them and communicate with your girl at the end of the fucking whatever, right? Like to actually stop and connect. Like, and one thing, like for me and Meg, I know that like it's dope because like probably like 98% of the time we would rather sit there and talk than put on a movie or watch TV or whatever. Like we're just excited to talk about real shit and ideas and like help educate each other and whatever, and like how we could be better and like create our dreams and just all these things. It's like communication has been the magic, and I think that communication everywhere is pretty much the magic. Because like we were saying earlier, I don't remember if we put it on the podcast or not, but it's like our voice is the sound of our soul, and it's like if we're gonna share that with each other, it creates love and connection, and it creates something. So like I think another piece too is like so many dudes end up in shitty relationships because their communication sucks. And when your communication sucks and you don't connect with your lady like on a real deep level, then your sex falls off. Then your fucking favors and all the extra shit starts falling off. And like dudes are essentially sabotaging their whole shit they like out of a woman because they're failing at communicating and connecting.
Yeah. And that's the thing with a lot of dudes that are struggling with their relationship, is that they feel like once they're in a relationship, they don't have to try that so hard. Mm-hmm. And just as much as we pour like, but the message of this podcast is being a great family member, being a honcho, that includes involving your spouse. The reflection of your children's growth has to also show between the relationship between you and your spouse. And to do that, you also, I know where I'm asking for a lot, hey, wake up, go to work, come back home, have that family dinner, take that time to hang out with your kids. Also, you got to make time to be with your woman too. Mm-hmm. Like, I know like the very beginning part of the stage where from baby till the kids are like 9 or 10, you're waiting to go take your wife on a date again, So, fuck, it's taking forever to take my wife on a date. But when you can, man, like, make it magical, man. She made you them kids. Mm-hmm. She wants to be loved just like how she was loved when you first met. So a lot of dudes forget that, and they let their hours like feel like at work and be taking that away from them. So it's essential. Like today, like we all went out to go out as a family, but my wife, she wants to sit next to me. She wants to hold my hand. She wants to. When we go to the movie theater, she don't want the kids in between us. She wants, I know, but the thing is, the kids love me so much, they want to be like right next to daddy, like my girl on the left side, my son on the right side, They want to be there next to their daddy. But, my wife, she's craving for like my love, my affection too. So that, like I tell dudes all the time, man, as much as you love your kids, them kids wouldn't be there without her. Mm-hmm. So I think in my song called Jumpin', I even said it like, like you shouldn't be, you should love your baby mama. Why? She gave you a kid, dummy. That's why.
No, dude, absolutely. That's, and it's like, as somebody who has had a troublesome baby mama, I have nothing but love and respect for her. Like, you'll never catch me talking bad about her or anything. Like, it's like that hits deep. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, if you're gonna shit on the people like who brought your best gift to this world, like, what are you doing, dude? What the fuck? It's the same thing as like not stopping to ever fucking pray or like say thank you to God. It's like, yo, you're fucking blessed enough to run around here all pissed. Why? You know what I'm saying? It's like your little tantrum, like you don't even realize you're blessed to be able to have that right now. Like, fuck.
Like, that's the thing, like my wife's like, she has a baby daddy,
Mm-hmm.
and while everybody would love to see me shit on this dude, I try not to. In fact, I hold back so much of my intrusive thoughts. But the reality is, I love him too. They had to go through a certain part of life in order for me to meet her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I capitalized on their trauma, but I did. They made 2 kids together, and she had enough of his attitude, and she had left him,
Mm-hmm.
And she apparently, based on her story, she gave him a lot of chances, but he failed at what he needed to do, and she had left him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never heard him ever. He might have said something. Yes, he has, to other family members, because it obviously circles back eventually, right? And I'll hear it. But like, he shouldn't be doing that. But I've never seen him directly talk bad about her in front of their kids, supposedly.
Yeah.
Like, witnessing it. But her kids, had reported that he has said bad things about her when it's just them by themselves, like the father and the 2 boys, right? So that's confirmed. Obviously, the kids are not going to lie about that.
Yeah.
So, but for me, everybody's always looking at me, it's like, waiting for me to say something bad about him. I said, you know what? And the thing I said, I can't be mad at him because he brought both you two into this life. You're him and your mama. And while they didn't work out, it allowed me to come into her life, and now I have 2 kids of my own.
Mm-hmm.
But now my family's a lot bigger. I have you 2 boys. I have my kids. Y'all siblings. Your mama had brought 4 lives into this world. I can't be mad at him because without their situation, we wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he was supposed to do what he was supposed to do as a man.
Yeah.
Never had her.
Yeah.
So it'd be a different journey. In fact, we right here, this podcast would have never happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really think about it like that.
Yeah, real shit.
It's in the multiverse, that never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the multiverse, this podcast never happened.
Yeah.
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 In a different dimension, this never happened.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be thankful for the little things that happen, and like, you can't be really talking smack about the other parents like that. And they, as a leader, of my family, I try to refrain like talking bad about people, because my kids, like today, like there's a dude who's road raging for whatever reason, and I cussed him out. My kids saw me cuss him out. I straight up say, fuck you, and I flipped him off. They saw that, they saw the anger part of me, but one thing they don't see is me being angry towards other family members. Like, I have another family member at my house who constantly has behavioral issues, saying the wrong things around the kids and doing the wrong things all the time. And I have to correct them behind closed doors, though. But they don't catch me saying bad things about him in front of them, because they need to see that as the leader of the house, I have to be, I show some respect towards other family members.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another family that's living with me, and they're always waiting to see me put this man in his place. I said I can't do that, because at the end of the day, he's my, he's a family member. And as long he's a family member, he gets the luxury of being talked to with respect, with love, and a safe space for us as a family to grow.
Yeah.
I know he's gonna mess up. I know he's a little older, but I have to. He gets that luxury, and they're like, no, if he was my brother, I would smack the shit out of him. And yesterday, same thing. They had a situation with the family. Of course, I was not involved in that conversation, but me and my stepson, we were just sitting there, and he was just threatening to do bad things to them. If I saw them, I beat them up, and they ain't not gonna do nothing about it. And that's why, and I'll be like, I looked at my stepson, and I was like, that's why his family don't fuck with him, because he keeps threatening them. He keeps want to get physical with them.
Yeah.
You know, and he don't want to give them that respect. Oh, they don't respect me. I'm the black sheep. You're making yourself the black sheep.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't want to invite you. You know, wherever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you're struggling. Your family's health is struggling. You know, like whenever I get the chance to tell my sisters I love them, I care for them, even though we in different parts of the country, the world, you know, we're in different countries, I try to tell them I love them, even though they may not believe me. It's like, at least I said it.
Mm-hmm.
If I die, you have something in black and white that says I love you.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, my goal is to get us reunited one day, like as a whole family. But, man, that brings me back to my point. As the leader, the family, you gotta look at the weaknesses of yourself. What can you do to be better? Mm-hmm. You can't get better all at once, because that takes time. That takes training. That's why I said you got to get educated. You got to take these leadership courses or take leadership roles in your company or whatever you're doing, because what we're doing here, and as a family, as the man, you're the head honcho, and they're looking for you for the right answers, the right decisions, composure, stability. A lot of men are weak today, weak as shit, because they refuse to take on these responsibilities to be the strongest version of themselves. And then that's why I have this YouTube channel called Strength Over Benches. It's a word of play. I can't say bitches. you know, strength over, you know.
Yeah.
So strength over benches.
That's cool.
Yeah. So and the majority of that channel is the original message of the channel was, you know, work on your weaknesses. So actually that channel has been always the same principle. So when I started the YouTube channel, it was to help me get better at public speaking and speaking in general, because I knew that my speech, if you listen to the first video, you can tell that I was struggling with speech.
Yeah.
And then if you listen to this current podcast, you can see that there's a huge improvement, right? Mm-hmm. So I went from getting in front of a camera, stop being camera shy, and just get better at public speaking. And there's an evolution to it. Mm-hmm. All right. So that was the whole point, to get. I knew what my weakness was. I identified it, and I was going to get better at it. And then along those channels, there's a lot of videos where I talk about, you know, being a man, being stronger. This is what I'm going to get better at, and this is what I'm going to tackle. You know, this is my plan of action. And that's what a lot of men today are refusing to do, is to look at themselves in the mirror and says, all right, I think I can do more push-ups. I can do more squats. I can run further, faster. I can learn how to speak better, be better at public speaking, be more emotionally intelligent, be a better father figure, love my wife more, do this, do that. That's all I'm advocating. Learn your faults right now so you can be better tomorrow. Yeah. You don't have to be better all today, which is going to be impossible because that takes time and training. But I identified my shit a long time ago, and that's what's allowing me to be a better parent. But that doesn't mean you can't be a better parent today or tomorrow. It's going to take you a little bit more time. Mm-hmm. But it starts with what family means. It's a very complicated recipe. Yeah. Very complicated. It's 1 million different ingredients, all right, to make this cake happen, right? Yeah. But if you really want a successful family, right? It all starts with the whole loyalty thing. The loyalty, without loyalty, there's no family.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the gang code. I got your back, you got my back.
Yep.
No matter what.
Yep. Right or wrong.
Right or wrong, if I do something bad, keep me in check. If you do something, I'm gonna keep you in check. You know, loyalty, that's where it's at. Family and loyalty. You want to have a good family, that's where it goes. That's where it starts. Loyalty. Then you build from there. All right, how can I be a better communicator? How can I be a better? How can I be more intelligent? How success, actually, self-success ties into the whole family thing too. Like, you know, love can only go so much, right? You need money. So yeah, you make 20,000 last year. This year you need to be at 25,000. You need to be at 30,000 the next year. 35,000. You got to keep moving up.
Yeah.
Don't stay stagnant. You know, and that's the whole thing with the whole million different ingredients to make this cake. But yeah, if you really want a great family, man, it starts with loyalty, and just pretty much bettering yourself. But you have to take the hard look in the mirror, very hard look.
Yeah. Bro, I agree, man. I truly could not agree more. And that's really the reason this podcast exists. It's because speaking was my greatest fear in life. And especially to express and share. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. I started I don't know if I mentioned it before, but before I even started this podcast, I was practicing on my Instagram. I made a little like series called Because Documenting. And I was like, all right, let me just even see if I can do this, you know? And like, I start off and I will look back at those videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to watch. But like, at the same time, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's dope. I fucking sucked. Like, that's so cool. You know, It's like, I'm not fucking the best, but it's like, I'm fucking definitely better than 3 years ago. It's like, how many other people get to say that in this world or within their communication or whatever? You know, it's like, all right, I'm doing what scares me the most on purpose because I fucking suck. All right, let's go.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a great example. Like my album, Back on My Grind, there's mixed reviews. There's people that, hey, I really love your album. And there's like people's like, your album sucked. Okay, cool. And a lot of people are scared to do that. Like, you know, people think, but to me, it's like, that's the best product I could put out at the time, like based on my skills, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I needed to practice to put out this album because I'll never know. So I put it out. Then Boss EP Level 1 came out. Bro, hey, man, this is a classic, instant classic. Love it, man, I love it. Some people say, could have been better, you know? Okay, cool. Now, this upcoming album that's coming out, there's going to be a shift on the skills, too. You're going to, you know, all right, now tell me. You know, you'd be like, was there, we started from here. It sucked, right? See a slight improvement. We're going to keep moving forward. And that's the same thing, you know, as long as you identify, like, what you suck at as a parent, as a father, as a husband, then we can move forward in achieving that. You know, being a better parent, you know, be a better family member. It all starts with you as the head honcho of the family. Yeah.
Bro, I love it, man. I agree, dude. Yeah, that's fucking dope, bro. Anything else or any last messages you want to leave for your fans, your family, the listeners, anybody, anything?
Yeah, man. You know, I got a show on April 13th at the Phoenix Hip Hop Festival, showcasing at 6 p.m. On stage 2. I have a music video on April 20th here in San Diego, 2 of them. Everybody's more than welcome to come and show up and show out. You know, if you want to be part of the video, hey, I'm not going to say no. You know, come up and show up, and then, you know, we'll all have fun. And that's what we do. Document your life, man, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, life is so short, and you just don't know when you're going to die. You really don't know. And life is about creating memories. I challenge anybody who's listening to this, look back in the last 5 years. You could be 35 years old, between 30 and 35. What significant memory did you create? I'm not talking about going to a wedding, going to a birthday party, like a significant event that you did for yourself that you'll remember forever. I have like 12 music videos out. And by the time April 20th comes around, that's 14 music videos. I'm going to remember 14 music videos of my life. That's that I did, that's gonna be documented for me. When I'm like 60 years old, I don't know if I'll be in a wheelchair or not, or maybe 70, 80.
Yeah.
I don't care if my kids are around, my grandkids are around. I could just be me, and I want to put on that video and say, that's me right there. God damn, I was so fucking cool. I remember that, man.
Yeah.
Or if I die instantly in a car crash, I want my kids to be like, turn on that music video. That was my dad, man. That was cool, man. He was doing his thing.
Yeah.
I challenge anybody, man. Like, hey, man, you might not be a rapper. Fuck it, man. But, hey, you want to come to my music video and you want to show your face in my music video? At least, hey, you'll be 60 years old. Like, hey, man, I was in this music video when I was 30 years old. Yeah, look at this. There go my face.
Yeah. Dude, no, absolutely. I was just going to say that is like, I think that's dope too. When you create something, it allows other people to like add a tab of documentation to their whole life too. Like, that's how I feel with this podcast too. It's like any person who shows up here, it's like, boom, they would just immediately forever have something, their family, their friends, whatever. If that person passes away, dude, we got shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can sit here and listen to this and relive it and all of that. Like, that's so cool, man. And I think it's dope too, because I feel the same way with your music videos. It's like, fuck, I've been to 2 of them, I think. And I was like, for me, that documents just like a hard, like, oh, that's this point in life.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck, yeah. It's like, whoa, you knew him, you were here, there. Like, whoa, it's fucking cool.
Think about it, man. When you're like 60, man, you want to check out the Chicken and Waffles video. And like, you'll remember that video, even though we're a lot older, you'll look back and just say, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that all happen.
Yeah, totally. And that's what's cool too. Like, I see pictures of like Royal at the video with you guys just in the background and shit. I'm like, this picture is worth fucking $1 million already to me. Like,
yeah,
it's like the strength of the history that this carries already. It's not history yet, but when this becomes history, holy fuck, dude. Like, like that's fucking cool.
You gotta create memories, and there's no money. All the money I spent in these videos, dude, the money, fuck the money. I gotta tell everybody, man, when I'm 60 years old or 80 years old and I can't enjoy my body no more as I want to, I'll be happy, to look back and say, I'm glad I spent that money on that video. I'm glad that I did Chicken and Waffles at Roscoe's and I did that music video, Nigga and Snake and Dago. The boat video, my first music video, Eat, and pictures, and just have everybody have, all that fun you saw on the music video pictures. I created that fun.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was a fucking square, and I'd hop on that boat. People were waiting for me to turn up, and as soon as I did it, that magic. All you see them people smiling and hugging and dancing. That was me making it happen. Yeah. And so, I don't know if people will remember that day or not, but for me, every time I turn on that music video, I remember how it all went down.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I love that, man. That's dope. And it's like you're doing it where you want, how you want, when you want. Like, there's nothing cooler to look back on your own shit and be like, damn, I'm proud of myself. It's not rare, but it's just not as popular that individuals get to have that opportunity for themselves, to look back and be like, damn, I did this. What the fuck? I'm fucking crazy. Like, hell yeah. Like, that shit's sick.
Yeah, like my son, like, dude, like, I invited like 20 people for this video. Of the 20 people, only 5 showed up. And they were the recording crew. For the video, the recording, like my staff.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, 15 people didn't show up at all. I was like, fuck. And I'm sitting there with my model, and she doesn't know what's going on in my mind. I'm staying cool, composed, and I'm pouring her a drink. I'm pouring myself a drink, and then I look at my son. He looks at me. All right, it's time for me to make shit happen. I stand up. You guys, come over here. You guys, hey, I'm doing a music video. I need company. Yeah, drinks right here. I got you guys. Don't spend another $1 over there. I got you guys. Drink with me. We'll handle this. And then the boat started gravitating towards my energy. Everybody's coming in. And I remember that night, my son's like, "You did it, Dad. Like, you made this video happen." I couldn't remember the lyrics because I was drunk off my ass, like, recording that video. Like, that's why when you see me on the video, like, you can't see me looking straight at the video because I was drunk. I was out of my mind. And I'm trying to guess the lyrics. I'm going because I was so drunk. But the energy in the video is because I created that energy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fuck yeah, dude. No, I love that. And again, that's so dope for your kids to be able to see that and have that experience and everything, dude. Like, that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah. And so, and then, I'm not saying that I'm cool or anything, but a lot of parents and a lot of families don't do what I'm doing, involving, like, as a rap star, I'm involving my family in the videos too.
Yeah.
You see them kids in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people talk about they want to be more with their children. They're not doing things that is going to involve their. Like, I've been to enough funerals where I only see family pictures when they were kids. You don't see family pictures as adults doing things together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's sad.
So that's where I want to be at. I want to be at a certain age. And my kids, they see, like, themselves and hopefully they stay inspired what I'm doing. They can look back in the videos and stay inspired. Hopefully I can be a rap star at age 50, 60, fucking, Snoop Dogg's doing it at age 55,
Yeah.
He pushing it,
Yep.
I want to be at that age too, you know what I'm saying? And being a rap star at that age. And hopefully I have all my hair and still kind of youthful looking. Because everybody still thinks I'm 25. I'm like, dude, I'm pushing 40, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, like the guy who's living with me, he's younger than me, but, like, everybody agrees that he looks older than me.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, how you stay so young looking? I was like, I don't know genetics, but I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But I tell everybody, man, you just got to be out there and make these memories. Make these memories before it's too late. That's the whole point of what I do. Create a really strong family, leaving a legacy for your family, and creating memories with your family. It's like having a good family is great, but if you can't remember it when it's time for you to go, what was it all for?
Yeah.
You got to leave something for your family to remember.
Yep.
It's like, hey, man, grandpa used to be like this, bro. Like, check this out. Great-grandpa, hey, great-great-great-grandpa did this. Great-great-great-great-grandpa did this,
Yeah.
He did that. He set this up for us,
Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, I love that, man. I think that's the magic to, like, living life and not getting burnt out too, is to do it for that purpose and that cause. Like, you can never burn out if that's the purpose.
Yeah.
You can get tired, but you ain't gonna burn out and be done.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. And man, that's the message, really. If you're asking me what's the last message for this podcast, is create those memories, man. I can't guarantee y'all when your time's up, but this is it, man. Live your life now. Do it before it's too late.
Yeah, 100%. You heard it. Go make those memories, you guys. Lastly, make sure you guys go download the latest EP, Yamamoto Boss, Boss Level 1, out now everywhere. Go download the full album, Back on My Grind. I personally am a huge fan of the album. That shit fucking slaps. It just goes. And even I'll share this real quick. So typically, like, when I put the kids to sleep, we'll sing songs, but the songs we're singing Ikaros, and those are like the healing songs from the jungle. And so we're going through, we have the Morocco, we're doing this. It's kind of like a little like sacred thing, kind of, But then Royal pops up. He goes, I want to sing too. So he's playing with the drum and whatever, and he's singing. And then he's like, all right, I want to sing my own song. I go, okay. And then he goes, everyone's quiet. He goes, how you do it? I said, he's putting the producer tags and everything, and he starts singing the whole song to go to bed. And we were like, this is dope. So that's what this man's music is doing. So
That's awesome.
I love that. Yeah. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Go download all of the latest music. Go check out the latest music videos. Personally, the song Positive and Chicken and Waffles are my two favorites off the latest album that jump out to me. I like Bitch. I like a few. I like the whole thing, but those are my favorite. Anyways, go check that out. Go slap it around town. Let's start the Chicken and Waffles challenge. Get some motherfuckers dancing, partying. Put that shit on. I promise you're gonna like it. Yeah. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn,